Hello vinyl community, this is Randy. Back today with another video. I've gotten some new records in the mail in the last part of August, and so I'm going to show those to you today. The first record I'm going to show you is this Grateful Dead record. The sticker that came with it. This is another record in the ongoing series of singles that the Grateful Dead are releasing. Four singles a year. This is the fourth year. This is the 15th single. So there'll be one more single this year. They're all, I would call them all double A-sided singles, and they've all got new artwork. So this is not the artwork that was on the record when it came out in the 70s, but the record here is Good Lovin'. I like this one a lot. I think this is my favorite one they've released so far as the artwork goes, because there's no doubt about which song the artwork belongs to. So that's Good Lovin' right there. So I like that artwork a lot. And the flip side of this record is Stagger Lee. So I really like that one a lot, because you can just see the whole story right here. Here's Delia the Lion getting ready to take care of Stagger Lee. Stagger Lee shot her husband, Billy the Lion. You can see right here, she's got her gun all ready to go. It's because Bio, the town sheriff, wouldn't take care of Stagger Lee. Complained that Stagger Lee was too big for him, so Delia takes it all into her own hands. Great cover. This is on colored vinyl, blue vinyl. Does anything look unusual about this? That hole is not in the center. I have contacted Grateful Dead Records to ask them to send me a replacement. When you play it, it sounds like it's badly warped. I'm going to stick a clip on at the end of the video so you can hear what it sounds like and see it spinning, because you can just see the needle going back and forth. When I first put the needle, I had it spinning when I was putting the needle down on it, and I was about to drop it down on there, and then all of a sudden the record wouldn't be there anymore. I was like, it's kind of hard to get it down on the record. So anyway, hopefully I will hear from them before long, and they'll send me a replacement. I got a new record in the mail just in the past week or so. This is My Morning Jacket. This is Waterfall 2, Waterfall Part 2. The Waterfall 2. This is a single album. It's a new record by My Morning Jacket, a band out of Louisville, Kentucky, I think is where they're from. And it's called The Waterfall 2 because they had actually released a record in 2015 which was called The Waterfall. So this is, I think these were some extra songs that they recorded at the time. As far as I could tell, I don't think it's really like a concept album. I don't think the first one was a concept. I don't think there's anything conceptual about it. So this is on clear vinyl. It looks really cool when it's spinning. It's on ATO Records. So yeah, I think this was recorded in 2015 when they recorded The Waterfall, and then they're just now getting around to releasing it. So I really like this one a lot. I've only listened to it 3 or 4 times, but it sounds really good. My Morning Jacket is basically centered around Jim James, the guy who writes all the songs. Plays guitar and sings the songs. So yeah, some of the songs are kind of mellow and introspective, and then some of them have some really good rhythm guitar leads by their other lead guitarists. So it's a really good record. I actually think I prefer it to the 2015 record. This is what The Waterfall looked like. This was a 2-record set. The real drawback on that is it's a 2-record set on 45 RPM records. So I like the label a lot, the Capital Rainbow label. But I ended up listening to this in my car. It came with a download, and so I downloaded it and listened to it in my car. I very rarely play the actual record, because of that 45 RPM thing. I played it again yesterday, though, and it's a good record, too. I like it, too. But I think I like the new one better. So, yeah, that's cool. I got this record 13th Floor Elevators, Bull of the Woods. The last vinyl update that I showed you, I had gotten Easter Everywhere, which I really liked a lot. Fantastic record. So then I started looking for this one. Found one online and ordered it, and you know, it's possible I like this one even better. I mean, I think 13th Floor Elevators have just become one of my favorite bands. There's only 3 albums, I think, really. I think there might be a live one with Rocky Erickson in the original lineup, and then after that, I think they had all kinds of legal problems and mental health issues and things like that. So I might want to try some later Rocky, but for right now, I'm focused on these first 3. This is just fantastic. This one, they have horns on this record, so Living On. What else had horns on it? I think Till Then also has horns on it. And this one doesn't have as much Rocky Erickson. I think he was really only on a couple of these songs. He's only written, what does it say here? 2 of the songs on here. So most of this is featuring the other guitar player, who is named Sutherland. What is his first name? And I think he's doing the vocals too. Well, his name is not even listed on here. Here's what the label looks like, though. This is on International Artist out of Houston, Texas. So, yeah, this has some slower songs on it. It has some like Barnyard Blues is just kind of a swinging rock song. It's very cool. This album ends. The last song on side 2 is May the Circle Be Unbroken. That's the Rocky Erickson song that's featured on here. And you know, it may be the trippiest sounding song I have ever heard in my entire life. I mean, it is definitely an experience. I don't think there's any words for it besides May the Circle Remain Unbroken. So yeah, this is fantastic. 13th Floor Elevators. I've just been listening to them every day for the past few weeks. It's just really great. Yeah, so that's it for the rock and roll albums this time. I got some jazz records, though. I got a new jazz record, just recorded. Well, I think it was actually recorded in 2019, but it was just released in August of this year. Joshua Redman, Brad Mehldau, Christian McBride, and Brian Blade. The name of the album is Round Again. As far as I can tell, there's the record is just credited to all 4 of these people. They're all there on the spine too. So I think they first worked together in the early 90s. You know, obviously they were younger then. They were up-and-coming jazz guys then. Now, I mean, these are all 4 jazz superstars. I mean, they're all tops in their field. So I really like this album a lot. There's 7 songs on here. They took turns with the songwriting. Joshua Redman wrote 3 of them. Brad wrote 2. And then Christian and Brian Blade wrote 1 song each. Some songs are pretty wide variety. Some of them are real upbeat. The last song on the album, Your Part to Play, is a very introspective song written by Brian Blade. It all sounds fantastic. I think they work beautifully together. Christian McBride's bass playing is just extremely upbeat. His song is called Floppy Disk, and that song is features a lot of his bass playing, and it's really good. I really like the part on there that he's doing a lot of bass solo, but you can hear Brad Mehldau just sticking in a chord or 2 here and there. It's really good. It really kind of helps you to keep place of where he is in the song. So really enjoying this record, and I'm sure I'll be listening to this quite a bit. Here's what the band looks like, and then here's just some information about the recording and everything. I was just going to say about this, you know, I think this should have been the front cover. You know, they would have taken the text from here, I guess, or even made it smaller. Had this for the front cover, you know, and then this would be the back cover. But obviously they decided to do it that way, so. Yeah, this is on, what is this record label? I think it's on None Such. Yeah, None Such Records. So, yeah, here's what label looks like for that one. So yeah, really enjoying that one. Got another new jazz album, except that it's really an old jazz album. It was recorded in the early 60s. It was a new tone poet that just came out a week or so ago. Bobby Hutcherson. Name of the album is The Kicker. This was recorded in 1964, but was not released. 1963. December 29, 1963, but was not released until the 90s, I think, on CD. And I think this is the first time it's actually been on vinyl. So, I'm enjoying this one too. This has this lineup here with Joe Henderson on tenor sax, Grant Green on guitar, Duke Pearson piano, Bob Cranshaw on bass, and Al Harewood playing the drums. That's what they all look like. This, here's what the record looks like. Basic Blue Note label. That exact same lineup recorded Grant Green's Idle Moments just about a month before this, in November of '63. All exactly the same people. So this one did get released in 1966. It's a fantastic album. Idle Moments is a long song, about 13 or 14 minutes long. Fantastic song. It's written by Duke Pearson. Duke Pearson, piano player. I think he's also well known for his arrangements along with writing songs. So it's interesting they recorded this in November of '63, but it wasn't released until 1966. This, what I've got here is a Blue Note 75 reissue of this record. But for some reason they didn't release this. And there's some speculation on the back here as to why they didn't release it. And I would agree with one of the possible reasons they gave is that this is very much just sort of a straightforward jazz record. But Bobby Hutcherson, I think, was known for being a bit more progressive in his jazz. And maybe they didn't want to put out this record that was a little bit more standard sounding, and they waited until '66 to release his first album, Dialogue, which is great with different band members. So this is all the same people as are on that, that Grant Green record. So so here's the track listing for this one, and I think it sounds good. I was kind of interested in this also, that I just timed the solos on this just to find out, how it works with Bobby Hutcherson as the leader, and so that I timed all the solos, for Joe Henderson. Grant Green doesn't actually play on the first two songs. He only plays on the last three songs. The last song on side one, and then both songs on side two. So Bobby Hutcherson's solos are a little bit more, but really not even necessarily a minute more on each song. So it's kind of interesting to me. He's very young, like 21 years old when this was recorded. So I think Duke Pearson probably had a lot to do with being the musical director, possibly, on this record. So I like it a lot, but I would say that, if I'm thinking of Bobby Hutcherson, if I want to hear some Bobby Hutcherson, I probably would go to Dialogue. This is, like I say, more of a, just sort of a standard bop album, which is really good too. I like it a lot. So I'm a big Duke Pearson fan, and so I just wanted to show you, I have this record by him called Sweet Honeybee. I've had this record for quite a while. I've never really been able to figure out what year. It's a Blue Note, but I haven't been able to figure out what year it was reissued. It's not the original. This came out in 1967. Love this album. The title cut, Sweet Honeybee, is one of my favorite jazz songs. Fantastic song on here called After the Rain. Both written by Duke Pearson. And then also I just like the album cover. I think it's probably the best album cover ever. Really like that one a lot. So it's interesting that Sweet Honeybee, to me it's such a great song, but it has not become, as far as I can tell, it hasn't become like a jazz standard. It's a standard Blue Note label. The only other version I know of is by Lee Morgan on this Charisma record. I like this album a lot. This was 1967 album for Lee Morgan. Recorded September of '66. one of the few Blue Notes that I've seen with a gatefold sleeve. So yeah, he opens up with Hey Chico. But yeah, Sweet Honeybee is the first song on side 2, and yeah, I probably like this version even better than Duke Pearson. So if you get a chance, check out that song. I think it's a fantastic, fantastic song. So Blue Note label for that one. I was watching Analog Archive just a couple weeks ago, and he showed this box set. Clifford Brown, complete Blue Note and Pacific Jazz recordings of Clifford Brown. So I've been looking at the record store day records that were going to be released, you know, and there just wasn't anything on that list that even came close to being anything that I would want as much as this one. So I found this online. This is a Mosaic box set that came out in the 70s, I believe. But it's actually pretty easy to find online. It's not that hard to find. There's 5 records in here, and this is actually what we're hearing in the background right now. We're hearing side 4 of this, or side 3 of this. So like I say, it's a 5 record set. Here's what they all look exactly like this. Nice looking label, Mosaic Records. So yeah, this documents Clifford Brown's work with, excuse me, well, he's working with Lou Donaldson and the Lou Donaldson Clifford Brown Quintet. Then he's with the J.J. Johnson Sextet. So we're in the J.J. Johnson side right now. Here's what the book looks like that came with it. And it was all in great shape. It was not sealed, but yeah, it was all in great shape. Clifford Brown was a jazz trumpet player. He was born in the early 30s, but he died a tragic death by a car accident in the, I think, 1956. So very young when he died, but he left behind a great legacy of work here. So Joe showed this box set, and it just really sounded perfect because, well, you know, in addition to Clifford Brown, I mean, I'm a big Lou Donaldson fan, and then also J.J. Johnson. I really love trombone, so it's a J.J. Johnson Sextet. After that, as the Clifford Brown Sextet, then Art Blakey Quintet, and then just more Clifford Brown on Pacific Jazz. So this is Blue Note and Pacific Jazz for Clifford Brown. And I would call this bop. You know, this is recorded in the early 50s when I think that, you know, before the term hard bop came in. These are short 3 or 4 minute songs with just lightning fast solos. I mean, he just plays the notes so fast. It's really cool sounding. The piano player on the in Lou Donaldson, in the J.J. Johnson Sextet is John Lewis, who worked a lot with Charlie Parker. So yeah, we call this bop. And the interesting thing about this is there's, I think he's most well known for working with Max Roach, but I think that came a little bit later in his career. So I was really glad to get that box set. The only Clifford Brown I'd had before this was this Clifford Brown Memorial. This is on Prestige. This is a record I got back in the 90s. This is a good record, but this is him working while he was part of the Tad Dameron Orchestra. I think these are probably his first recordings, which, well, I mean, they're not necessarily the first. The recordings with Lou Donaldson happened just a little bit before these June 11, 1953 recordings with the Tad Dameron Orchestra. Then he worked with J.J. Johnson. Then it looks like he went to Europe and worked with Art Farmer and some Swedish players. So this has those songs on there. Then he came back, I guess, and joined Max Roach, worked with him for a while, and then went out to the West Coast. So, yeah, it's all very interesting, and yeah, I think now I just need to get the record that he made with Max Roach to sort of fill in that gap. So, I'm going to pause just for a second here. Okay, yeah, I was back. So turn that record over. Yeah, so this is a uh, what are they called? Jazz classics. This is a reissue. OJC original jazz classics with the fantastic prestige label. So that's it for most of the new records I've got. Anyway, I ordered from Bandcamp. Michael P. Dawson, part of the YouTube, vinyl community, and is a musician, lives out there in California, has released this CD called The Hip Crime Vocab. So I sent off for this, and I'd heard a couple people in the vinyl community talking about it, and sounded really good. So sent off for it, and it's fantastic. It's a very wild sounding record. There's a lot of electronic sounds. He also plays sax, guitar. There's some really cool sounding bass clarinet on here. I like that instrument a lot. So here's the track listing. And I guess this is based on, there's an author named John Bruner, has this book called Stand on Zanzibar. I think it's a science fiction book, and I have not read that myself, but I guess that's where he took the ideas for this CD. So thanks very much for making this record, Michael. I'm enjoying it and listening to it. So yeah, so I sent off for that. Michael included some previous work when he sent this to me. So Paleozoic. This is also very much the a lot of electronic sounds, along with sax and other more standard instruments. He included this one, which I haven't even actually started listening to yet, but I'm going to. This is called the Brandon Bug Concerto. So Michael likes to play some punning type games, I guess. So this, I guess it says in parentheses here, Papa's got a brand new bug. So yeah, so I haven't listened to this one yet, but I'm sure I will enjoy this one when I do get around to listen to it. And he actually threw in this other CD, Roots of Bob Dylan. This was Mojo. Mojo, I think, probably included this with a magazine. And so a lot of blues people on here, and yeah, people, I guess, that just inspired Bob Dylan. So I will, yeah, I will enjoy this one. So he also included this book. I remember when this series started, I've never actually gotten one of these books. This is Exile on Main Street. And I suppose he included this because I did that video, Rolling Stone, showing all the Stones a while back. And this also is good timing because I just saw that the video, the Goat's Head Soup video, documentary by Flipside CT. Steve up there, and fantastic video. I highly recommend that one to you. So this guy here at the same time. So this just goes into more detail about the making of Exile on Main Street. But Goat's Head Soup came after that, so it's all sort of ties together. So yeah, thanks very much for sending all that stuff, Michael. I appreciate that very much. So yeah, so those are the new records I've gotten here during the last part of August and first couple of days of September. So yeah, I'd be interested to know what you think about any of those records. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. Hope everyone's doing well.